We've had this conversation, and you seem to agree with me. But when there's complications, you withdraw and leave me to be. When there's a problem, you become like a wall. And every time I trip, it's a free fall. Why don't you help me?
We're going to start today's workout, as we always do, by connecting our breath to our pelvic floor. So when you're ready, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, squeeze your pelvic floor. So inhale, relax, exhale, squeeze. Take a deep breath in and breathe out, squeeze your pelvic floor. Inhale, relax, exhale, squeeze. If you're a visual person, you can open your eyes and watch my hand. Inhale, relax, exhale, squeeze your pelvic floor. When I say squeeze your pelvic floor, I mean contract it. Pull up through your sex organs, squeeze your anus, hold for 1 second, and then relax. Don't stress if you are having issues doing this. It does take practice. Just try your best. Inhale, relax, exhale, squeeze. That was your last breath. When you're ready, stand up, go to the back of your mat if you have one. If you don't stress. It really doesn't matter at all. We're going to go into the world's greatest stretch. So step your left leg forward, put your right hand on the ground, then open your left arm up, open your chest towards the sky, and then try and get your left elbow as far down your leg as possible. So you're going to rotate your torso, opening your chest up, really rotating through, and then try and get your elbow as far down your leg as possible. This can be done with your back leg off the ground like mine is, or bend your back leg. From there, you're going to place both hands on the ground, and we're just going to do some circles here and really open up through those hips. In a moment, you're going to place both hands on the ground, step back to plank, and then bring your other leg forward. We're going to go through those 2 mobility exercises on the other side. So really open up your right hand, open your chest towards the sky, and then try and get your right elbow as low to your foot as possible. Your back might crack, it'll feel wonderful. It's such a good stretch, this one. There's a reason it's called the world's greatest stretch. Now we're going to go into those hip open circles. So just circle round and round, pushing your back hip towards the ground, really trying to get as low as possible. From there, you're going to push back into high plank and then walk your hands back to your feet. We are going to now get into a wide sumo squat. So place your feet shoulder distance apart, put your elbows on the inside of your knees, and start to rock into your hips, swaying from side to side. Couple more, and then we're going to hold on to our feet and go through a bit of a thoracic opener. So you want to hold on to your right foot and then stretch your left arm around, opening up to the sky, and then alternate sides. That is your last one. Now I'm going to get you to do some hamstring squats. So feet are hip distance apart, hold on to your feet with your hands, and we're going to go through some squats. So this is a really good stretch for your posterior chain, and it will really stretch through your hamstrings. So you're not standing all the way up, as in your torso isn't, but your legs are. This is a really good stretch. This is called a hamstring squat. This is your last rep, and when you are ready, we are going to get some core and glute activation going. So when you are ready, walk out into high plank. From high plank, we're going to push back to downward facing dog position, tap in our opposite hand to our opposite foot. So see how my bum goes from a plank position to a down dog position. And when I'm in my down dog position, I'm tapping my right hand to my left foot, my left hand to my right foot. That's That's your last rep. From there, we're going to drop down into a 4-point kneeling position. So your knees are directly under your hips and your hands are directly under your shoulders, and we're going to do some kickbacks. So keep your leg at a 90-degree angle and kick your left heel up to the sky. We really don't want to be arching through our lower back, so you don't want to be kicking too high. Just bring your leg up until it's at a 180 degrees to your body. Now it's time to swap sides. Really try and get that heel up towards the sky. Think about your glute pulling your leg up. This is your last rep, and then we're going to swap back to our other leg and go straight leg kick ups. So again, we don't want to be kicking too high. You just want your glute to be pulling your leg up so it is in line with your torso. Don't kick your heel up to the ceiling. Try and pull your leg up from your glute. That's your last rep, and we're going to swap sides. Nice straight leg. Use your glute to pull your leg up. That's your last rep. Now we're going to go back to our original leg, and we're going to do fire hydrant and then kick ups. So one to the side, one up to the ceiling. Again, with the fire hydrants, we don't want to go too high, so we're rotating through our pelvis. Just a slight angle, pulling your knee out to the side rather than trying to kick your knee as high as you can get it. That's not the aim of the game here. That's your last rep, and now we're going to swap sides. One to the side, one to the sky. One to the side, one to the sky. That's your last rep. From there, we're going to flip over, sit on our glutes, bring our heels in close to our bum and go through some glute bridges. So you want your heels to be close enough to your glutes that you could nearly touch it with your fingertips. Push through your heels and squeeze your bum at the top. If you are having trouble feeling it, move your feet away just slightly. Just wiggle them down a couple of centimeters. That's your last rep. Now you're going to cross your right leg over your left leg. Shake some sand off if you're like me and covered in sand. And now we're going to push our heel into the ground, raising our hips to the sky and going through some single leg glute bridges. That was your last rep. Now you're going to swap sides. Cross your other leg over your knee and push through your heel, raising your hips up to the sky. That's your last rep. From here, we're going to place the soles of our feet together in the exact same position that they would be for a glute bridge, but instead your feet are on the side, and we're going to go through frog pumps. So for this one, your knees will be pointing towards 10 and 2. Your legs will be wide, and you're really pushing up, squeezing your glutes. We're nearly done with our glute activation. There we are all done. So stand up and let's get into our first round of strength training. So pick up your dumbbell or your kettlebell, whichever you choose to use. I'm going to be using 2 dumbbells, but you can do these exercises with just 1 as well. We're going to be doing single leg deadlift to start. So place your left leg on the ground. Your right toe is going to be in line with your left heel as a balance. So we're going to push our bum back and down, really hinge at our hips, put in all our weight through our left heel, making sure our back is nice and straight. If you only have 1 dumbbell, you can be carrying it in your right hand for this exercise. So the opposite hand to the leg that we're working. This is your last rep, and then we are going to swap sides. So you're going to plant your right foot in the ground. Your left leg is for balance. Your balls of your feet on your left foot should be in line with your right heel, slightly back. You're putting all your weight through your right leg, hinging at your hips, sending your glutes back and down. If there was a wall half a meter behind you, you would be attempting to touch the wall with your bottom. Keep your back nice and straight, shoulders back and down. If you only have one dumbbell or kettlebell, you can be holding it with your left hand for this exercise. That was your last rep. From there, we're going to do squats. So your feet are hip distance apart. We're going to do front rack squats, which means our dumbbells are up on our shoulders and elbows pointing forward. If you only have one weight, you can be holding it in front of your chest with your elbows still pointing forward in the same position. Make sure your hips are going past 90 degrees, your bum's going back and down, your hamstring and your calf are meeting behind you. That is your last rep. From here we're going to go into reverse lunges. So we are going to start with our right foot going back and down, our knee tapping the ground, and then standing all the way up again. If you only have one weight, you can be carrying the weight in front of you in a front rack position, similar to what you just did with your squats. With reverse lunges, make sure your back knee is tapping the ground and you stand all the way up at the top. This is your last rep. Now it's time to swap sides. Left leg goes back, tap your left knee on the ground, and then stand all the way up. Try and make sure you keep your chest upright at all times. And that's your last rep. Now we're going to go back to our single leg Romanian deadlifts, RDLs, which is our first exercise we did. So plant your left foot into the ground, put your right toe in line with your left heel, so it's slightly behind, your leg is bent, and you're putting all your weight through your left leg. Send your hips back and make sure all your weight is through your left heel. You should be feeling a nice stretch in your left glute and the top of your left hamstring. Try and make sure your back is always nice and straight with this one. It's your last rep, and then we're going to swap sides. So shift all your weight onto your right foot, plant your left foot there for balance, send your hips back and down, and really focus on getting a good stretch in that left glute before standing up. You want your glute to pull you up, if that makes any sense. So really think about pulling yourself into an upright position rather than pushing. This is your last rep, and then we're going to go back into those squats. So place your dumbbell, kettlebells, whatever you've got, up on your shoulders or in your chest in a front rack position, and get your bum back and down into those nice deep squats. It's your last rep, and then we're going to get into those reverse lunges. So if you have one dumbbell, keep it up in your front rack position, and we are going to step our right leg back and down, get our back knee to tap the ground. If you are having trouble tapping the ground and standing back up holding the weights, ditch the weights and just do a body weight. I would rather you do full range of an exercise body weight than have resistance and not be able to do the full movement. That's your last rep, and then you're going to swap sides. So step that left leg back and get that back knee tapping the ground. That's your last rep. Well done. We're going to have a very short break here. So pop your weights down, grab yourself a drink. When you're ready, pick up your weights and we're going to go into the next series of exercises. So to complete this exercise, you're going to drop down onto your knees with your left leg leading, stand all the way up, then drop down to your knees with your right leg leading and stand all the way up. So you are alternating between your left and your right leg, standing up. So I stand up with my right leg on this set and then my left leg on this set. So if this is too challenging to do with your weights, then feel free to ditch your weights. If this is hurting your knees, please pause the video, go get a towel, put it on the ground, and then continue on. That was our last rep. From here, grab one weight. We're going to go into some jump squats. So feet are shoulder distance apart, get your bum back and down, try and get that weight touching the ground and get some air at the top. Keep going, you've just got a couple more reps. Well done. Now pick up your weights and we're going to go back to that first exercise that we were doing. So don't worry about picking up the weights if it was too hard to do it with them. Start with one leg. I'm using my left leg here, stepping back, and now I'm going to step back with my right leg, drop down to both knees and step up with my right leg. So just make sure you are alternating each rep. This is your last rep. Let's go into those squat jumps. Try and get as high as you can, powering through. Again, if this is just too hard with the weight, ditch the weight and just work through the squat jumps with no resistance. And that's your last rep. Well done everyone, we are done. That was a super quick and fun little leg workout. Now don't watch what I'm doing here. I try and get into pigeon pose in the most awkward way. I don't even know what I was doing. What I'd like you to do is come down into pigeon pose. I'm like, what was that, Kat? That was terrible. Bring your right leg forward and keep your back leg nice and straight. And we're gonna just stretch out our right glute into pigeon pose. Feel free to rest your head down on your hands if you can. And when you're ready, we're going to push back to downward facing dog, which is how you're meant to get into pigeon pose. You're going to bring your left leg forward and sit down into that beautiful stretch for your left hip. And from there we're going to sit up onto our bottoms and we're going to go into another beautiful stretch for our lower back and our glutes. So you're going to cross your right leg over your left leg, wrap your left arm around your right knee and then face over towards your right hand side and enjoy that beautiful stretch. And when you're ready, swap sides. And team, that is us done for today. Thank you so much for joining me for this very quick leg workout. Feel free to subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed it or not. If you found some of the moves challenging, come back and do it again. This is the joy of YouTube. You can just practice the same workout over and over again until you get really good at it. And if you found it easy, feel free to make the weights heavier. I will see you next time for another fun workout.